Good afternoon. I'll be happy to answer any questions that I can. I know there's a few.
Why trade Mack now for last draft or next year's draft?
Well, first of all, I'd like to wish Khalil well. He was a great player for us, a great person, a great teammate. I did have contact with him yesterday too, exchanging, our best wishes to him and thanking him for being a great Oakland Raider. But the negotiation was what it was. It was tough. It was a long process. We talked about it daily. We made an offer. I don't believe we were anywhere close to where the Bears were. And the Bears made us an offer that we thought was really unique. And very, very tough to say goodbye to a great player. But here we are today.
Jon, why not just wait to see if he would report?
We have waited. We waited and waited, and the Rams game was looming. Our feeling was, he was not going to report anytime soon. And like I said, I saw the Redskins go through it with Kirk Cousins. It's a long process. You can wait it out. You can franchise them. You can force them to play. But we made a decision, and we're going to stand by it.
Was it tough conveying that talking to the guys? Did it feel like you had to address that?
Yeah, I addressed it with the team, and he's a great player and a good teammate, and a lot of these guys were very good friends with him. So it was tough, but he's been gone for some time. And like I said, we wish him the best. We have to build this football team. We have a lot of needs, and we'll address them as we see fit. But it's never easy saying goodbye to anybody, especially a great player.
I know you made it clear starting at the first press conference that you had here that you want to win in 2 years that you're here in Oakland. How does this affect your ability to do that?
Well, it's tough. It wasn't my goal to trade Khalil when we got here. One of the reasons I'm here is because of him. Unfortunately, we had a standoff with the contract, and we could not come to terms. And the Bears made us an offer of 2 first-round draft choices, and here we are today. We have to put together a 53-man roster. It's hard. Salary cap issues do exist. And there is an economic part of this thing, too, that you have to sit down and study, and you have to get a lot of information from a lot of people to see how it impacts you, a contract of that magnitude. So anyways, I can't answer any more questions other than we did the best we could, and we are sorry to see him go. We wish him the best, and we'll have to obviously do right with the picks that we did acquire. And the players on this roster got to step up.
How was the reaction in the locker room, though, in terms of how they responded when you addressed them and told them, this is why we did what we did?
Well, I'm not going to ever speak for our players. You're going to have to ask them, for yourself. I'll just let it go at that. I think there's obviously some surprise, some shock, but deep down I think some people realized it was a tough, long, drawn-out negotiation, and at the end something had to happen.
You said the Bears went above what your offer was, way above perhaps. Was it a case of you wouldn't go to that number or you couldn't go to that number? I'm
not going to get into the negotiation. Reggie and Tom Delaney and the people that were negotiating were involved in that. I know there's maybe some feeling that I was involved on a day-to-day negotiation. I had nothing to do with it. So we were at a standoff, and something had to happen, and here we are.
Is there some philosophical point that when you've got a quarterback making as much as you do, you can't bring in another contract that's comparable? It just doesn't.
Well, I don't know how many teams have done that. I don't know how many teams done it. Aaron Donald got signed. They don't have a quarterback that has been redone yet. I think the Bears made this trade. Trubisky's still on his rookie deal. It's tough when you have 2 players that are the highest paid, arguably, or close to the highest paid at their positions. So the economic part of it certainly weighs in. We've got free agents on our team that are going to be next year. We've got to find a way to bring them back. So you got to field a 53-man roster, and there are some implications of having 2 players making that much money. That's no mystery to anybody.
What do you like about A.J. McCarron, and how's he going to fit your offense?
Thanks for changing the subject. It'll be. He had been in Cincinnati with Paul Gunther, our defensive coordinator. I had been impressed with him when he was put into some tough spots. in a playoff drive on a very good football team. And he went in there and did some really good things. Got signed by Buffalo. I think he got a big signing bonus. Things didn't work out. He's young. He's got some playing experience in big games. We have a lot of intelligence on him. Derek Ansley was at Alabama. I had him on my little episode. I got to know A.J., and Paul Gunther was with him on a daily basis. So we feel like we got better at the quarterback position, and we got to prove that too.
Do you feel Reggie was truly on board with trading him, or do you feel maybe you had?
They're trying to divide us. People are trying to divide us, and I wanted him gone. He wanted him here. We made a decision as an organization. Mark Davis, Tom Delaney, we all got the information, and we made a decision together. And I'll just say what he said. I read what he said yesterday. It's a decision that we all came to.
The last formal offer or exchange of offers might have been in February. Was there a mystery to the situation, though? If this was not going to be a deal you could make, why not make that decision in February, March, and trade him in April?
Why would we do that? I don't understand why we would do that.
Your picks would have been drafted in April.
Well, you don't know if you can get those picks. You're not. We're trying to negotiate a contract to keep the player here. We would like to have the player stay here. He was under contract. We did not expect this to last as long as it did, but we're going to be second guessed until the cows come home on this. I understand that, but bottom line is we did do our due diligence. There was a standoff, and he got a great contract from the Bears. A great contract.
The Donald deal, when that came in, did that sort of?
Well, it pretty much set the stage of what it was going to be. And, $90 million guaranteed is an astronomical number. It's phenomenal, I think, for the players. Great for him, obviously. But that was something we could not do.
The conclusion that you wouldn't have got a bounty of picks if you wait, until the next draft and trade them?
Well, it's hard to say you could ever get 2 ones. Getting 2 first-round picks from a team is a lot of resources. And, there's no guarantee that you can get 2 ones in 6 months or 2 years. There's no guarantee whatsoever. But 2 first-round draft choices is a lot of compensation that we have to do something with.
I know you have such respect and appreciation for Raiders tradition, all the greats who have been part of this organization over the decades of its existence. On a personal level, is there a difficulty to trading somebody whose career trajectories to place him part of that pantheon?
Part of what?
Part of that pantheon of just.
Pantheon's a tough one on me right now. That's tough trading them. I've said that. It's tough to trade them. But there's an economic part of this that is also tough. And I'm not going to get into that, but we have to field a 53-man roster. The Bears came in with a great offer for us. And the agent, Joel Siegel, did a great job. He stood his ground, and he ended up getting the #1 contract in football for a defensive player.
Did you feel like you had to include a second-round pick in there? I know a lot of people wondered why.
I really wasn't involved in all of that, so you have to ask Reggie, to be honest with you.
6 weeks ago, you were hanging out at Ricky's and told those fans there that you're going to do what it takes to get Khalil Mack in here. Now that he's gone, what do you say to those fans?
Well, we're going to do everything we can to win. We're going to do everything we can to win and put together the best football team possible. We have a lot of holes, and we have to do what we can to fill them.
Right now, backup quarterback. You're welcome. You have a quarterback who doesn't know your offense yet, and that's your only backup quarterback. What's your comfort with that situation? Could one of the 2 quarterbacks who are in camp behind Derek return, or is that just going to be the situation week 1?
Well, hopefully Derek stays healthy. That's #1. But we have to fast track AJ. He's in here now working with Brian Callahan, and he'll be a consistent visitor here at this facility for the next few weeks. He's got a lot of catching up to do, and we'll try to fast track him the best way we can. There is a possibility that we bring another arm in here, so we'll see.
Is this still a win-now situation?
What?
Can you win this year?
That's the plan. We're going to try to do everything we can to win. We also have to build this football team. And we've had 1 winning season in 14 years. And we have to do it the right way. And we have to make some tough decisions, as we have since the beginning of free agency. And this is tough to swallow. And we wish Khalil the best, obviously, and we need some of our players to step up.
Martavis, you saw so much in him from a size, speed combination, something that this roster really didn't have. The third-round pick reflects the value that is in your roster. Now that he's no longer part of the picture, what kind of dent does that leave on this thing, and can you replace that at this stage of the offseason?
Well, we expected more, from him. He did not make the team because Keon Hatcher came on. Some other players outperformed him. And I think he covered that during training camp. He missed extended amounts of time. And you saw Hatcher the other night. He's done it on our practice field. He did it in a game. He can play multiple positions, and he can play on special teams. And we tried to keep the 5 or 6 best receivers, and that's what we did.
Was there a miscalculation there?
I don't think so. I think the guy's a superb talent. The guy's got great talent. We released our second-round draft choice last year, and the year before, and the year before that. Not everything's a perfect science, but we'll be criticized for that. But it was a risk, I think, well worth taking. Perhaps we get Martavis again next year, and we can get the best out of him.
How much did fear of him being suspended play into releasing him?
Not really. I think just the overall versatility. Who goes in for Cooper if Cooper has an ailment? Who goes in for Nelson? Who's the third? Who goes in for Seth? Who can help us on special teams? Keon outperformed him, and for that reason, we're keeping Keon Hatcher.
Did Keon win a roster spot on the last night?
Probably
Or
did,
he caught
yeah.
your eye before then?
I probably would have got thrown out of the airplane if we not kept Keon after that game, but he had kept our eye. He had a great offseason. He's under the radar. He's undrafted. Practice squad a year ago. Caught a lot of touchdown passes at Arkansas. But when you put him in a game, he converts third downs. He can make big plays. And we're happy to have him aboard.
Enough pass rush on your roster right now.
What's that?
Enough pass rush. Yeah.
Well, we'll see. There's other ways to get to the passer. There's other ways to get to the passer besides just a 4-man rush. And somebody's got to step up. Sergeant Key's time. Bruce Irvin has to step up. Perhaps that means more blitzing. We'll have to see.
2 more guys. 2 more.
You have one of the older rosters. Do you like a veteran roster, or do you want to get younger as you move along?
Well, we're getting these draft choices. We're trying to hit on the draft. We're trying to draft and develop. Obviously, the last 3 draft classes we haven't got a lot of production out of yet. I don't think there's anybody left from the 13 draft. But 15, 16, 17, not much production at all. And with that being said, you got to fill holes. And sometimes you got to fill those holes in free agency. And some of the guys that are free agents are a little bit older. So that's one of the reasons why I think we're a little bit older than some teams. But we do have some good veteran players, some good veteran leadership, and we're anxious to get started.
Why were the 2 waiver claim tackles made? What was appealing about them?
Well, Murray, had some good preseason film. He's got some range. I think he could be a swing tackle. Clemmings played at Washington, had some starting experience, a little more seasoned game experience, tough guy. Look, these are not lifetime contracts. These are opportunities for us to look at some other linemen to perhaps improve us in the 8th and 9th spot. We need better depth, more consistent depth, and that's what we're trying to find.
Chris Warren's knee injury and surgery something that could have been avoided if he ran less this preseason?
What's that? Yeah, probably. That's my fault also on that. But we did want to feature Warren, and I think, I don't know this for sure, I think he won the preseason rushing title. But what a story he has been. He came from obviously nowhere, the rookie mini camp, to potentially earning a roster spot. He'll be a guy that is going to be worth keeping an eye on next year.
Mario Edwards was another one of those second-round picks that's no longer on the roster. What was deficient in his play that led to him off the roster?
Well, he has some opportunities, obviously, in that last preseason game and in the 3 other games to emerge. P.J. Hall, Maurice Hurst came in and really took over at the inside pass rushing position. We tried him as a 6 technique. We felt like we were better off letting him find another opportunity and us going with the guys that outperformed him.
Okay, guys. Thanks a lot.
All right. Okay, guys.